Hey everyone, James here. Wanted to do another quick video on the Portfolio Manager. I introduced a update yesterday that I jokingly called the Bo Nix update. It is referencing one of the subscribers in the Discord who I always talk shit to about Bo Nix. But he's been asking for position-specific filtering, specifically for flex positions, to try to make it so that you can choose what positions go into the flex. So I added that, but I took a step further and I made it so that you could do position-specific filtering for a number of different stats and types. And I wanted to show that off. So we're going to load up NFL for tomorrow. I'm going to load up, say, 5,000 lineups. Actually, let's just do 1,000 for the sake of this today. With 49K as the min, and let's just go ahead and load that up. So I'm going to load from the database. If you did not know that you can do this, this was a more recent update that made it so that it's much easier to load up the Portfolio Manager now if you are loading from Paydirt. So now, when we load up, one of the things that you'll notice is over here, there's a new set of options. So we have this position filtering option. So what we can do now is, if we drop this down, we have a couple different options. So you can choose the position that you want to filter, what you want to filter it with, and then there's some thresholds and some keys here that allow us to do the filtering. So one of the main ones, of course, that people will use this for is choosing specific positions for the flex. So the position that we're going to filter on is flex. For this first one, let's go ahead and go with position, right? And then we don't have to worry about this because this is filtering on projection, ownership, or salary. Don't have to worry about this, projection, ownership, salary. If filtering on position, choose the positions that you want to keep. So let's go ahead and say, since, we're looking at this and it's like, okay, well, tight end in the flex, tight end, lots of tight end in the flex. But say that you didn't want to do a double tight end lineup this week. Choose running back, wide receiver, go ahead and run it on the portfolio. So then it will only give you the lineups that have running backs or wide receivers in the flex. Now, out of the 1,000, there's only 87 that are highly projected lineups that don't have a tight end in the flex. This is probably shaping up to be a 2 tight end week. When I was testing this with 5,000 before, I had about 2,000 lineups left over that had running backs or tight end or running backs or wide receivers in the flex. So there's definitely going to be options. Since I only loaded 1,000, the options are a little bit less. But that's how you do that. So there are also other things we can do here. Let's go ahead and reset this. So similarly to that, another thing that people like to do is make it so that they only have the afternoon games in the flex, right? So let's go ahead and do this. Instead of position, we're going to do team. Then we're going to come down here, and we're only going to do the games that are in the late window this time. So I'm going to bring up really quick what games are in the late window because I don't remember them off the top of my head. But let's see. Okay, so we have Detroit, LA, Carolina, New Orleans, Tennessee, San Francisco, Green Bay, and Denver. So if we do that and we're applying it to the flex here, then what we're going to get is only players from those games in the flex. There you go, 348 lineups left over. There's probably a lot of Juwan Johnson, Xavier Legette. I would guess, yeah, Christian McCaffrey is going to show up a bit. So you can also filter each position on team. Let's reset. Another thing that I think is pretty useful to do is saying, all right, well, I only want to have quarterbacks that are cheap. So let's go ahead and do quarterbacks filtering on salary. And let's say I don't want any quarterback that is over $6,000, right? Let's go ahead and do that. So running on portfolio. There you go. Now we have 624 lineups left over that have quarterbacks that are less than $6,000. Then we'll do one more here that I think is also useful, and that is for projection. So say that we only wanted to have flex plays that have a projection that is greater than, let's say, 10. And we'll see what that gives us. So obviously, we don't need to worry about like the high end here. We only need to worry about the floor. So let's see what that gives us. All right, 809. So it looks like probably Juwan Johnson projects for, Juwan Johnson and Harold Phantom both project for more than 10. What if we took that up a notch and said 15 instead? There you go. So here's all the lineups that have a flex player that projects for more than 15 fantasy points. It's Christian McCaffrey, RJ Harvey, Jamar Chase, these kind of stud guys, right? And then now you can see the lineups that have an expensive flex and Jahmyr Gibbs, or, you have these expensive options together, right? You can see what kind of stars and studs looks like. So this is position filtering. This is new, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm trying to do a little bit more of these videos when I put in a new update to the Portfolio Manager. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you have not checked out the Portfolio Manager, you should do that. It's found right here under Models and Tools. If you haven't checked out Paydirt, you should do that as well. My name is James, and I will talk to you guys next time.